Hello, Leigh from Nothing to Wear. Now today I have a very exciting and joyful guest. It's Pip. She owns Jumbled in Orange, which is the most amazing store in Australia, maybe. Anyway, she's going to talk to us about colour, how to wear it, how to not be scared of it, and I really need these tips. So let's jump in.
You have to do it. You live for fashion.
Pip, firstly, welcome to the show, and secondly, your background is hands down the best background I've ever had on a virtual guest. That's your real home?
That's my real home. Thanks, Leigh.
You need to take a photo and sell that backdrop on Zoom because, oh my God, it's beautiful. Now, listen, we're going to get into your world in orange, jumbled and colour in a moment, but I ask new guests the same two questions first. Can you describe your style in 3 words?
I would say colour, playful, and maybe like a smidge ridiculous. I think when I'm in my store, in my habitat, people go, oh my God, you match so well. But when I'm at my kids' basketball, I do look a tad ridiculous, but they don't seem to care.
I love that. We've not had ridiculous before, and that is so fun. Now, they say that we wear roughly 10% of what we've got in our wardrobe 90% of the time. So the stuff we just love, pull out. I wonder if this is relevant for you. But anyway, the stuff we reach for more than the other stuff. What is that stuff for you?
It's totally relevant for me. I always reach for dresses. I love dresses that they're one thing I put on. They're fabulous. They're a bit fun. They might be quite special dresses. I try not to save things for special occasions. I try and wear them all the time because life's the special occasion. But yeah, dresses. There's like Alame, Celia B, Palm Noose. So they're my go-tos and I don't have to think.
When prepping for this episode, I had Alame in the back of my head all the time because that's one of the most colourful brands I know. So I kind of know you. Now, we're going to talk about you, your store and your love of colour. I have to tell you, I went to Orange. I've only been to Orange once because it's kind of like 4 hours out of Sydney. It's that extra, long for a long weekend. But the truth is I wanted to go to Jumbled, your beautiful store. And I went in and it was as joyful as I'd heard and seen. And I bought towels and I bought clothes and and when I came back to the car, I think my toddler at the time was napping. So my husband had to stay in the car and he goes, colourful things, colour. And I'm not really a colourful person, but it was just so infectious, the beautiful, stock that you have. So congratulations on such an amazing destination. And tell me, how did Jumble come about and how did it get to where it is now? It's an institution, really.
I'm the daughter of a failed minimalist. My mother loves colour, and colour's kind of been that continual in my whole life. So she had a clothing store for 25 years.
Oh, wow.
And is now an artist, and we sell her work at the shop. But I studied fashion at uni, but when I finished, I opened a clothing store. So I started with fashion first, and I think that's been going for about 19 years. And then Jumbled is where we introduced homewares because I bought a home and I realized I loved homewares as much as I loved fashion. So it's all just under one roof, everything that I love all together, coffee, fashion, home, color. And I just think it started off as a really baby store and it's grown into a massive, massive store. And I think social media and online has really been so pivotal in our growth, and Orange is just a really cool place. It's always been cool, but I think every year we're getting more and more things, and so I think Jumbled's sort of been put on the map, which is super exciting.
I reckon that you put Orange on the map with Jumbled. I've got to say, I really do. So I loved your 3 words, and I do want to elaborate a bit more on your love of colour. So your mum's a failed minimalist. Is it because you were around it when you were young? Have you always just been drawn to it? Have you ever been scared of it? Because I'm not scared of it. It just feels hard.
It doesn't feel hard. It just feels like a natural, innate thing in me that I just love colour. And I don't mean colour for colour's sake. Like I am looking a little bit like a rainbow today, but my house is colourful, but it's colours used in a really smart way. There's such a science to it.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel like colour comes quite naturally. But I know that for lots of people, it doesn't. So like my greatest joy is when I show people how to wear colour or show them a colour that just like lifts them instantly. Colour is super powerful.
I honestly think, it's a skill. It's like you can sing or you can't. I don't know. It's like something that you're born with. I mean, of course you can learn, but if you're really passionate about it and you love it. I think you're naturally good at it. But you're right, you know, your interiors and everything I see on your amazing Instagram, it's colourful, but it's curated. It's not just a rainbow vomit. Okay, so let's talk about how you help people then, because I typically stick to neutrals and you help people incorporate colour. So how do you do that? I mean, obviously physically in the store it's a bit easier, but for listeners listening, where do we start?
I would literally just, even when you're in a store, you don't even need to try the piece on if you don't want. Hold it up to your face and look in the mirror. Like knitwear at the moment is a really good place to add some color into your wardrobe. Put it up to your face, and when you find that color that lifts you, your whole face changes. And it's super amazing when you find that thing, and it's not just one color that's going to suit you. And don't discount a whole color because someone said, oh, you can never wear yellow, because I bet you there's a yellow that you can wear. It might be a buttery soft yellow, or it might be a neon, or it might be a mustard.
I so agree.
Different tonal levels that you can explore, and you just don't know if you don't try.
Yeah.
But sometimes you'd need to let a shop assistant guide you, and not everyone's created equal, but sometimes just try, because you never know. And when you try that color, you will get so many compliments.
Yeah, I so agree with you, because it's a spectrum obviously for colours, but I've had people say to me in the past, oh, you look really good in this colour, or, you know, something about colour, and it sticks with you subconsciously. And then I'm like, why am I avoiding that? And also my tastes have changed. You know, in my 20s, I might have avoided certain colours, and now I try them on and I feel joyful and I look great. So if you avoided it before, it's worth giving it another go.
And I think even with your hair color changing, our skin changing, the seasons changing, I think back in the 80s and 90s, being a color consultant, remember they'd rest, and you see it a little bit on Instagram now.
Yeah, it's back again.
Spring and autumn or winter. Mum was a fully qualified one of those.
Oh.
And lots of women would carry those color swatches in their handbag and say, no, I'm not going to try that on. I'm an autumn.
Yeah.
And then wouldn't try on this beautiful springy green. But I'm like, give it a go.
Yeah.
Because I think it does change
time.
over
And even if it's not in your little flip book, if it brings you joy, wear it.
100%.
But then it gets harder, because we've held up something to our face and it's a top, it's not a dress. Then we're talking colour combinations. You are so good at combinations. I am okay. I get a lot of inspo from Pinterest. So how do you know when colours, quote unquote, go together?
I sometimes think the most interesting outfits and also interiors, so colour in general, are those that are put together that are not typically seen to go together, that are like there's a weird colour in there that shouldn't really work, but it looks so good together. So in talking about the yellow again, like maybe that buttery soft yellow with a really warm pink magenta with a hit of red.
Yes.
You know, something like that looks so great. Or pink and green. They used to say pink and green should never be seen, but it looks so good together. So I think when things shouldn't go together and that they do, I think that's really exciting.
Yeah.
But I also love color blocking. I love color blocking a whole outfit using the same tone of color, but maybe playing with textures and tones.
Okay, so that's like an all blue outfit, but it's different, textures and slightly different, but kind of all looks uniform.
So beautiful.
I need to do that. I don't know why I don't do that. So how do we do that? Say we've got a skirt at home we love and it's a colour. Do we take that with us shopping and then try on tops that we just wouldn't normally with that? You know, I think I do have colourful pieces, but putting them together is hard. And I'm more of an online shopper, but I guess I should go to the shops, take it with me, and see how it is IRL.
I think it is so good to go to a shop, and I love it when people bring the item that they need it to go with, and then at least you know it looks amazing with it, and you can be sure you don't have to go back and return it. Online shopping is great, but things that I see online or that I buy for the store, and then when they come in, they may not look as good. They may not look good on me at all, but online I thought it was going to suit me. But it's the things that are unexpected that are often the best. I say go back to the shops and give it a go, because there is such a joy in the adventure of shopping. I think we've forgotten that a lot. At our store, we work really, really hard on turning shopping. Some people may see it as quite a traumatic process, and I get it. We've all got hang-ups. Everyone does. But I love it when people walk out feeling amazing, looking good, because when you feel amazing in what you're wearing, you walk differently.
You do.
Like, you react to you differently, you talk differently, you just feel it's like magic on those days. Sometimes I rewear that outfit and I don't look as good, but there's just something, the stars align and you feel fabulous on that day. And I think we should totally try and go back to the shops and try different shapes, especially now with the change in denim silhouettes and the change in season. It's a really good time to explore different looks, silhouettes and colors for you.
I couldn't agree more. And I think, we jump online and shop because we think it's efficient, but then it turns up and it's not right. And then you got to return. And, maybe if you can just carve out some time. And like you say, if you're going to step out of your comfort zone with shapes or with colors, do it IRL. And then you can make that decision and see it in real life. And it's probably more efficient that way.
100%. And even like yesterday, I just kept this most amazing American vintage neon green knit. And I'm usually small, but I decided to go the medium. I tried that on and I was like, I love the fit of that more. Like, I love the way it sits better. And I love the color. I wouldn't have bought the color until I tried it on. I was like, I have to have that. But I think there's a lot to be said for trying on different sizes as well.
So those who don't follow the Jumbled Instagram, they absolutely need to, and I do, and I love it. It brings me so much joy. Do you plan your outfits? Because you always look colourful and joyful, but effortless and just amazing. Do you plan out your outfits, or does your personality pick every morning?
I 100% do not plan my outfit. I stand at my wardrobe in my beige bra and undies and decide on the moment with 10 minutes to be out the door. But my wardrobe is full of pieces that I have tried on and I adore and I must have.
Yeah.
They're not following a trend. They're just pieces that I just have to have. And my wardrobe looks really fun and exciting, but I'm definitely dictated by my mood. And I want to go to work dressed like I'm going to a party because I feel like that makes the people around me feel good as well. And my staff do the same thing. And I'm also dictated by what's ironed as well. I'm not good at ironing. So I'm like, I would love to wear that, but I need to iron it. So I love
the honesty. I am the same. I'm like, the steamer's downstairs. You're staying in the wardrobe. But I love that. I think, you have a very distinct personal style, but it's not laboured over in that you can just go to that area and go, I love all of this. I'm going to chuck on whatever. And it's very you.
Yeah.
In Jumbled, the people that come, it's so broad and you sell such a huge range of products that you'd see a lot of demographics, I can imagine. So do you see any differences in purchasers and shoppers across generations when it comes to fashion that come to Jumbled?
Definitely different ages have different requirements, but I feel like Jumbled, the fashion that we get in is quite ageless. So yesterday we have this amazing Never Fully Dressed, which is a label from the UK, this micro mesh dress. And you would think that mesh would be clingy, but this mesh dress is amazing. It's a 6 to an 18. And so I had a girl who was 20 buy it, and I also had a lady who was in her 70s buy it for a wedding. Wow. And they both looked fantastic.
Well, now I need to see this dress.
Yes, I've got it.
Oh, you've got it here. That's amazing. Show me.
I wanted to talk to you about colour because I have this same shaped mesh dress in 2 other colourways, and they're both really pretty. But it's this colour that works so beautifully. So it's a beautiful cornflower blue with a corally orange poppy print, and it's that contrasting colours of orange and blue. And it just looks so flattering on fair skin, on tan skin, grey hair, blonde hair. Like, this dress is all about the colour of it. And that's why it's so successful.
And it just brings joy. Just looking at that fabric, I feel joy.
Yeah, and it's flattering. It has a beautiful bell sleeve, but I just love it that a dress like that span so many different generations. So
Agreed.
when someone from different generations comes in, I just think whoever the customer is really important to listen, because listening is like the kindest thing we can do, and understanding what people need and want.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel at Jumbled it is quite ageless.
Mm. And it's interesting because that's why you've got so much return, business, because I think there's, when you're being sold to and someone's saying that looks great to get a sale. But when someone really invests in you and listens to you and goes, okay, yep, you like this or you're looking for that, that's the stores I go back into. And I, subconsciously avoid some that I've had the hard sell. So you do that so well. But that dress also just inspired me, because I'm more of a separates these days, but I'm confused how to put the colours together. But that could be a beautiful colour combination in a top and a bottom, that kind of really deep, vibrant orange and a cornflower blue.
Yes. So if you remember on your colour wheel as a kid, they're contrasting across from each other, and that's why they always look so good together.
Yeah. So maybe you've got some colourful dresses. Just look at the colours if you want to make separates work, which is kind of a bit harder than a whole dress. And
Yes.
there's your colours that work.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, maybe it's not so scary after all.
It's not scary. Colour is exciting and not scary at all.
I trust you. I trust you. One more question before we get into Boujie and budget. Some of our listeners, or a lot of our listeners, might work in corporate environments. I mean, I'm an office worker, but we can wear pretty much anything, and you have the most joyful workplace on earth. How can we express our personal style and maybe some colour in a corporate world?
I think like we were talking about earlier, I love colour blocking.
Yes.
I think colour blocking in corporate looks extremely exciting and very polished. And I think it's fun to show who you are and what you stand for, and that you have a bit of personality in a corporate environment. And I think fashion's the perfect way to do that. Even if you're in quite a like a stiff environment, it's fun to play and it's fun to shock, but it's amazing what the response will be from that. And I quite like using color in a symbolic way as well. When there's perfect times to wear red in corporate environments, and green and blue, so you can use it in that way as well. But I think color blocking is just so, so cool.
You're so right. And I hadn't even thought of that. I was thinking, maybe someone could go from grey and black to like aubergine. But yeah, a beautiful I know, I was like, that's so daring. But a beautiful cobalt blue, colour blocked, or, a really rich ruby red, phenomenal, and still very polished.
But even a beautiful aubergine blazer, you could play with a lovely colour on underneath. Like it could be a beautiful blush skivvy, or, you could play with a pink and red stripe, or you could do other things. So you can keep it quite simple, but adding a colour, but add some more interesting things, perhaps with the top on underneath.
I love that. Oh, you've really inspired me. Okay, let's move on to Boujie and budget. This is where we're both bringing something that's more affordable, something that's a bit more expensive in the colour world. Let's have your budget first. What's your budget item?
Well, my budget item would be bracelets, because if it's something that you want to just dip your toes into colour, during the school holidays it was raining at the beach, and I went and bought a bead and bracelet making kit, and I had my boys who are 12 and 10 and my nieces all make bracelets, and they've made and beautiful ones with their names on. And if you put them with your expensive pearls and your charms, so we have this new brand called Boy Friday who hand makes the coolest bracelets. You layer like a player, layer like a legend.
I love it.
That is a really nice way to bring a little bit of colour in if you're feeling, like you want to explore colour a little more.
Yeah, you're dipping your toe. I like that. And you could even, you could buy some affordably, or you could make your own, and then you've got the exact colours that you want.
Yes, and it's so fun. The kids love that you're wearing the bracelets that they've made.
Yeah, I'm going to do that with my son. That's a gorgeous idea. Well, my budget is a dress, and I'm glad you said yellow, because I wasn't sure how you're going to feel about this. They're calling it cream on the website. It's not. It's buddy yellow. It's yellow, okay? The brand is Forth and Reckless. You can get it on the Iconic, and it's $130. The top's sort of just like a plain kind of ribbed singlet, and then the skirt is like a flare maxi skirt. It's really beautiful. The reason I like it is because I'm trying to only buy items that I can get more wear out of. So going into autumn, I just love a maxi skirt with a big knit. So I would just chuck a knit over the top and pretend it's a skirt. I was going to say a grey knit, but now inspired by you, I might do like a ruby red or
Yes, fun. Or a mustard.
a mustard.
Oh, you look
Ooh.
so good in that.
Oh,
There's an amazing, at the moment, an amazing American vintage knit that's like hairy and it's like a ruby, beautiful red and aubergine stripe.
oh yeah,
And
that's joyful.
so it would look great with the skirt.
Yeah, and then, as it warms up later in the year, I just wear it as a dress. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 and it's $130. It comes in boring black. I'm not going to recommend that because we're all about colour. All right, what's your Boujie?
Well, my Boujie hasn't actually arrived yet. It's due to arrive any day. It's a Celia bead dress. So she's a Spanish designer and she's my all-time fave designer. And we only get one across in each size because they're a bit special.
Yes.
And it's this multicolored check dress that has like a love heart panel on the front and it's all paneled and long and really cool and very ridiculous but very fabulous.
I love it. And now when you say it's on the way, is this for the store or for you?
I would say both.
What an amazing job that's you can I think I need to buy that from myself. Okay.
Totally. Well, I just am stealing it, really.
Yeah, it's market research. My Boujie is something I bought last year and I did not pay full price. So like you said, like the bracelets, this is kind of a dipping a toe. They're green sunglasses.
Ooh.
I bought some Bottega Veneta green sunglasses. There's a website called Eyewear Index. And ordinarily when everything's full price, it's very expensive because fancy brands are. But a couple of times a year, they have an amazing sale. So everyone should jump on and sign up to their EDM database and wait for the sale. They're back to full price now, $895. Never in my life would I pay that for sunglasses or pretty much anything. But I got them late last year, I think December, right before the Mamamia Christmas party, because then I wore them, and I've got green eyes. I wore them to the Christmas party. And everyone said, oh, my God, I love your sunglasses. And then when I would take my sunnies down, they'd make my eyes look really green. And I was like, oh, this was such a gamble. I paid $220 in the sale. So from $895 to $220, I would never pay roughly $900. But I think to your point, a sunglass, a bead, maybe a bag is a really nice way to experiment and mix and match a bit more than a full-on bright item if you're dipping your toe.
100%. But isn't it the power of colour when you take down your glasses and everyone's notices your eyes that you spend every day with at work?
Yeah, totally. And that's it. And I was like, oh, should I take them? Oh, it's the Christmas party. I'll go on. And now when I reach for them, I feel joyful because I received so many lovely compliments. So it wasn't scary after all.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, right before you go, I want to ask you one more thing because you've said, which I think is hilarious, orange is the new black. So why should we all come to Orange, anyone that's not from Orange?
Because it's just everything that you love all in one spot, especially this time of year. All the trees are changing to autumn colours. We've got the best food, we've got the best wine, and the shopping is so good in Orange. Everyone that comes from Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, they all say that we have the best shopping in Orange.
You honestly do. I was blown away when I was there and I've got to come back soon. Pip, you're a joy to watch, to talk to shop from. So thank you so much for joining me on Nothing to Wear.
Thanks for having me.